Salacast.
Selah. It means pause and consider.
With
John and
Phil and
Jihan and yes and etc.
Look, I'm just saying, you wouldn't want your mom to overhear this podcast.
Steroids for your ears.
This is what your liberal brain has been hurting for.
The daddy team.
The Eternia.
Burnt pizza slice.
Russian tea.
at Casey's, we know you love creamer in your coffee. So we thought we'd cut it short for you and give you the whole bag. Surf's up, bro.
Oh, wait, no.
My friends that are my friends that are my friends that are my friends that are.
For our show.
Hey everyone, it's Salacast. We got 0 viewers. Hey, amazing. But we have something from our good friend of the show, Annulment Proof, and he wants to share something with us, which is this statement from Kennedy Hall. So we'll start with us.
I will say. And there's a few that I'll answer next time. And this is a big one. And this is, you may have touched on this in the past, but what are your views and what is SSPX's stance on natural family planning?
Selah.
NFP.
Anytime you have to acronym something, it takes a lot of explanation. I'm not saying I disagree with acronyming stuff, but he's like, we're talking about the SSPX, thinking about the NFP. Let's continue.
P. That is a big question.
It's a big question.
Let's do a little background
It's a lot of acronyms.
here. What is natural family planning? I'll also say the SSPX as such does not have a position on it because the church
Selah.
as such.
Okay. If the SSPX, right, is part of the church, the Novus Ordo Church, they una cum with the Novus Ordo Church, then their position should be whatever the Novus Ordo position is, right? Is that right? Am I wrong? Oh, look who's here. A friend of the show. The ZAP.
What, you didn't change your name?
I'm sorry, Empty Me Out is friend of the show.
Yeah, because I was
Now-
filling me up last night, and now I'm emptying
yeah.
me out.
Okay. Can you introduce me now?
Oh, here's friend of the show. The Filet Instagram Liquor.
Yay! So is that right?
That?
It's just dash right what I said or not? Did you hear what I just said or no?
You said introduce me, and I said Filet Instagram Liquor.
No. Before that, when I said that if the SSPX is part of the Novus Ordo Church,
Okay.
then the SSPX has a stance, which is the same as the Novus Ordo Church because they're part of the Novus Ordo Church. Yes?
But they're a girlfriend in denial, so yes, and at the same time, no.
How can you not have a stance if you're in communion, una cum, as they say, with the Pope?
No. Oh, because their stance is that they're a
That is a
girlfriend
big
and
question.
they don't have to.
See, he goes, that is a big question.
Let's do a little background here. What is natural family planning? I'll also say the SSPX as such does not have a position on it
Selah.
because the church.
We invited John Farrell, aka Annulment Proof, who is the host of this show.
Wait, he's the host of this show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And we
We're
asked
on his
him,
channel now.
and he ran away. He won't come on.
Unbelievable.
He's
Unbelievable.
He's like, I got a DJ for something. It's like, oh, just show up. Okay, I got all the way through it, and it flips some 100. Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever, who cares? Push play.
Church, as such, does not have a detailed position as much as some would like. There are certain things we can look to, but it's not like, you look into a council and find some anathemas about what to do. There's nothing there on that. There's principles we follow, which we'll talk about. So what is NFP? Natural family planning. So in our modern context, when we think of NFP, we think of various methods that were developed usually at Catholic universities in medical faculties to observe how you can to observe and sort of systematize how a woman can observe her natural signs, whether it be temperature, whether it be mucus things, whatever, and her cycle and calendars and checking and whatever. There's a couple different methods that are common.
Mucus things.
I'd like to check your mucus. Miss Happy. Wait, I should be doing this as Miss Happy Protestant.
How dare you?
Oh, you want to check it with me in the morning? Which is what Miss Happy Catholic actually, the guy she had on actually said. And then all of us just collectively turned it off. Like, I'm sorry.
Mucus?
I don't want to talk about this. It's like, have you measured this bodily fluid?
Which can help with two things. One, conceiving, because there's actually a very short window wherein a couple can conceive. So,
no, not true at all.
Is that true?
No,
I don't believe that's true.
It's like 3 days long.
Look,
like what do they do? They have intercourse 6 times in a year or something. Like, man, I just don't know why it doesn't work. Hey, see you next month. Okay, gotcha. Like,
check this out. Right, he's looking to the. He's looking to the.
He
east.
does this all the time. Oh.
He looks to the east. He's like, "Will the mucus be mucus?" And he's got an L. What's the L for?
Liberty.
Lefebvre.
What's that green pillow for?
Body shaming.
What's the Golden Gate Bridge for in the picture?
Because you're actually secretly gay. Oh, it's in the back mirror. It's in the back mirror.
Yeah, he's leaving gayness.
I'm leaving gayness.
And then there's a little red knob on the closet.
Oh,
red drum, perhaps?
No, I was thinking more of like the red of the AIDS awareness.
Oh, AIDS awareness, very good.
Yes.
Also, I wanted to comment that Kennedy Hall is one of the few people who has to think by going like this. Like, if you can talk, just talk. Look directly into the mic, the eyeball up there, and talk.
What are you looking into? What is that? What is going on?
The eyeball?
No, him.
He's like literally watching his kids. He's like, and yes, NFP is going on, and there's my wife.
What is it?
She's walking a dog. What? When did we get a dog? Like, I don't know what he's doing.
Is that skirt above her knee?
Maybe that means the mucus.
Pinpointing when it's go time, where it's more likely, is one of the main purposes of NFP, because it's not natural family birth spacing or natural family abstinence, it's natural family planning. So the notion is that having children.
He has this 100% backwards. And let me explain.
Yeah.
So the woman has a cycle that she spends a week building up the flora in her membranes.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a better face on it. Okay, that's better. There you go.
Right, and then she has the period, the week where she's fertile, and then it starts to stagnate, and then it also wash out.
But at that whole time, she could have a kid.
Yeah, the whole time because
there's no
the egg has to flip itself all the way down the fallopian tube. But the reason why this was important was because they couldn't figure out when the period started and ended. Because it used to be thought that it started after the bleeding, after the womb has washed itself out of all the floral material on its walls. So they thought that was peak fertility. Peak fertility is actually 14 days after that event. So,
I think you can tell when the peak fertility is because they become more amorous at that time. No, really, it's like
I would imagine this is true. I've been told, but I've never been married. So what do I know?
Whatever.
I'm just saying
and my response is no. Bad. It's the John Farrell response.
The issue was for a long time is they couldn't figure out when peak versus the bleeding was. And so they understood they can't conceive after the peak, more or less. But this is how it's been explained to me.
Even that's...
Well, yeah, it falls to like 3 to 1%.
Right. So everything is like anything can happen at any time.
Yeah, more or less.
Well, except during the period. Then that's like for sure.
In which case, NFP is a very strange thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't really. Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Hey, let's check you. I'm not an animal.
And so we have this lady here who has she fears for John Farrell. She feels for John Farrell.
Choose it in cheap romance. Cheap romance makes happy marriages. My husband and I go on nature walks. This is at Benson's. Benson's is abandoned all love from marriage. And he had a very sad divorce. And you're like, I don't know what happened in that situation, but he has removed all love. I could just imagine JF would be proud of me. Now, JF is John Farrell from Annulment Proof. And he's a very unfortunate situation where he has removed all love from marriage. And he had a...
Yay!
Yay! Yay! It's your marriage now.
Thank you, John Farrell. Thank you for removing Glenn from marriage.
Now I know what my marriage will look like when I'm 80.
Yay!
And being able to know when you can do that is intrinsic to the method. So it's not, quote unquote, like contraceptive in mentality as such as people.
As such.
The other side of it, or some people think it is, the other side of it is if you know when it's go time, you know when it's no-go time. You know when not to go if you're trying to space out.
Well, Selah, that's the Mosaic law. You know when it's no-go time. Right? According to the Mosaic law.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's natural.
Your children. So no one really has an issue with the NFP itself being used to help couples conceive, and it's very effective at that. Couples who have struggled with, like my wife and I know.
No one uses it to help conceive.
I literally have no idea what he's talking about because this is the only time that I agree with John Farrell that you just let nature take its course.
Right.
Couples in love to bang. It's like, what are we doing? This is that's when you know it's gonna go. Like the guy's like, oh man, I'm 30 years old. I just can't time it. Like I can only go twice a month. I'm so weak and effeminate. Oh, like who's this guy? What's going on here?
I don't know. What I want a friend of the show, Grover, says, "Where's John Farrell?"
Is John Farrell a friend? Oh, he's the host.
Yeah, he's the host of the show. Yet he won't show up for this because he's got a DJ something.
Oh, yeah.
Couples, some of whom weren't even Catholic, and they are Catholic now, but they were having troubles with having children, and we are not practitioners of it. We've had, my wife's been pregnant almost every year since 2015.
I wonder why, if you're not practitioners of it.
Right, I thought it helps. I thought the only way you could get pregnant was by knowing this thing that was only discovered in the last 100 years of human history. Huh? Okay.
Sad divorce, and you're like, I don't know what happened in that situation, but he has removed all of this goodness. Like, guys, you want this, right? This is what you want. You want nature walks with your wife. You want to go.
Scylla, do you want nature walks with your wife?
I take nature walks by myself.
Oh, it's so gross.
No, I live by a meadow.
That's like.
Do you follow me on
what that is?
Instagram?
You listen to me, said AP. I mean,
Yes, sir.
You empty me out. I don't want to hang out with anyone. I don't want to.
This is me yesterday taking pictures of
He's like
all the
here's water and
no.
leaves.
No, it's really important. No, why are you offending me? Was on a nature walk.
Fishing with your son and catch striper bass or what have you, and then
do you want to catch striper bass and what have you with your son?
No, because then you have to clean it, and I don't like cleaning fish.
Well, that's what the wife is for.
Oh, okay.
cook it, and I have tons of fish in the fridge right now, which we have to eat.
All right, I'll agree with that. Okay, she might be right on that point. Okay, let's go back.
We're clearly not going above and beyond to space things out. But there are grave reasons people have, which we'll discuss. But we've told people who were having trouble conceiving, you should go talk to this NFP practitioner that we knew. And lo and behold, secular education, public school education, this age of feminism and contraception and blah, blah, blah. No one knows anything about how any of that works. They learn from a Catholic how it works. Before you know it, 2-3 months later, they've conceived a child, and their doctors couldn't even help them do that because they just figured out how it works. So NFP has a great use, really, really important. Okay, it helps a ton of couples conceive children, and a lot of its critics forget that part. Now, in the old school, there was something called like the rhythm method, and basically, back in the day.
The rhythm is gonna get you. The rhythm is gonna get you. The
pharmaceuticalization, whatever you want to call it, of our modern medicine. There was a lot more emphasis on things like diet, things like natural remedies, and things like just understanding the signs. You know, even my wife has this little handbook of home nursing she found at a thrift shop, and it was made by the Salvation Army or the Red Cross, I think, Red Cross, in like the 40s. And it's basically mom how to be a nurse of her home.
Is this what Haley uses?
And it was just standard. They just gave it out to moms.
I'm trying to give him like a normal face. Like I hate that we like give him like these weird faces. Normal. Normal is fine. Okay, go ahead.
Is that what Haley uses as a source for her nursing?
I don't think she follows any of it.
I don't think she does either.
She's just like, whatever.
She's just like, I'm crazy and I'm on YouTube. Look at the YouTube. I'm famous. I can see myself on the screen. Yay.
I am the greatest moderator of all Catholic shows forever. Yay! What's going on here? Somebody talking on there? Join the show.
Jihan.
Yeah,
Jihan being Jihan. He's like,
why
isn't people giving me entertainment? You think he's like this fat Korean guy sits on a couch all day? eating donuts.
He's not fat. He's just pleasantly plump.
Oh, those are the worst kinds.
I know. I'm gonna give him a call. Hold on. 206 1206 1 8 9 10. Okay.
I'm so embarrassed though.
She.
Hey.
Yo.
It's Phil from Sailacast.
Oh, okay. I thought you were my sister because she's the only one who calls with the Massachusetts number. She's down in Costa Rica and she uses some fake phone or something. I thought it was Sheila. Sorry, but anyway, what the heck's going on here?
I don't know. We wanted you to join the Prague cast. Wait, the Sailacast. Sorry.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm so that I can be more of a captive audience.
Are you buying tires right now?
No, I am out doing my meditation on subduing passions while walking around with the block with the dog.
Yeah.
Then I was going to come. Then I was going to come back and go do a holy hour. Then I was going to at church. Then I was going to go get tires. That was my plan.
Right.
So
don't let us keep you from that. That sounds better than doing the Sailacast.
I mean, that Kennedy Hall thing was a good tip on that. He's obviously, I think he's heard of some stuff I'm saying because he's bringing up some Douay Rheims things, but he flips some stuff around for sure. And it's one of those. It's a lot of this stuff is really slippery and it sounds so good, like liberation theology, but you've got to nail it down. Anyway, I've got a few things in the hopper here, and I rarely just have time to kind of goof off. That's what's going on. But
like continue doing what you're doing because it sounds better than what we're doing.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be back. Cheers. Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
Well, it actually worked. That's fantastic. No one calls him and he puts his number out. Oh. Scared to death of being called.
All right,
That's Grover.
Dash Grover.
You know, and there's a ton in there that you would think, wow, that's kind of crazy because like you would always go to the ER or the urgent care for that sort of thing now. But back in the day, it was like, oh, if it's this type of burn, here's how you fix a 3rd-degree burn at home, you know, things like that. Here's how you deal with whooping cough and whatever. And here's the types of, hot toddy you make. And here's the types of cold therapy and hot therapy and how they breathe better and all these kinds of things that were not pharmaceutical, but were more holistic, let's say. So women had a better understanding of that back in the day. We all did. So part of that was understanding how the female body worked. And there was always wisdom amongst women. Matriarchs would always communicate this to their daughters and friends and nieces and whatever. And they kind of knew.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for stopping it. I don't need instructions to know how the woman's body works.
How things work. So it wasn't perfectly accurate, but it was very useful. And they understood like when it was time to conceive and what to look for and so forth. So that was eventually studied and sort of scientificized. I think part of it happened at Marquette University.
Mr. Celepi, we had this scientificized.
Scientificized a word?
No. Why do these guys always make up words?
I don't know.
But they do it all the time. I caught Nick because I was reviewing him. He's using a scuttlebutt in the wrong way.
Oh yeah, they all do. They all use everything the wrong
words. Like I particularly use a small category of words because I only know so many. And then these guys are just like blah blah word.
If you know the definition of a word, you may be allowed to use that word. but they don't know it.
So there's the Marquette method. I think another one was at, I want to say Colgate, all these different Catholic.
It's on the loose, and she's hunting for another golden goose. Maybe she can find some drama to get some money with a disposition that is very sunny. Oh, I think that she will talk about weird stuffs. She just can't seem to put down that she has the cuffs of the man who left her behind.
At a grotto. This is like, you know, we do pray. We went to church. We went to church at 7 a.m. We had a recent retired priest, Father Ron. You know, he's full of love, that guy. That guy's full of love. So this, I haven't listened to it yet, Craig. I plan on doing so. Don't worry. And Craig goes,
isn't it a little weird to say John Farrell has no love, followed by this priest is full of love?
Yes.
Yes. I am getting warning signs.
This lady's like 10 miles from me. She's in Lowell, Massachusetts. Less than 10, actually. I'm like, maybe I should go to her parish and like, hey, how's it going?
Scary.
Tim Gordon charges for this kind of information, and you're just throwing it out for free. The same thing with myself. Like, I'm just like sharing my life, sharing the love. I do want to bring out Alpha here. I have not listened to him yet. The worst religious debate online, Tim post theology dumpster fire exposed. Again, he had Timothy Gordon, the patriarchy guy. I don't know what he sells these men, this patriarchy. I have not listened to this as well. But what's being sold to young men, what's of Christianity, is not what I've experienced. It's not what my husband experienced. It's not what my children experience. Here we are.
She's like total Vatican II lady. But at the same time, I think she's right. You know,
what,
like
that she doesn't have all these experiences?
No, that her family around her is sane, even though she's insane.
Oh, okay. Like,
do you know what I mean?
They go fishing and like they're like,
yeah,
hey, look, there's a tree.
Like,
and she's like, oh, there's a tree, and they've already walked on.
She's like, let me do a video on this. We are normal. It's like, yeah, your family's normal. I don't know about you. She seems okay. Whatever.
There's different names attached to different methods that pertain to the school. Creighton was another one. Creighton.
Yeah.
I can't remember that's the name of the school or the doctor. Anyway. So NFP has been really good at helping women understand how all that works. And a big benefit of that is that a lot of health issues in women can be caught or corrected, etc., if you look for certain problems with the cycle, because that's indicative of the health of a woman. So there's a lot of really great benefits from it.
Now, I disagree. Play.
Again, the rubber meets the road. We talk about...
Wait, Selah. He doesn't know what he means when he says that.
Oh, okay.
And so I disagree with you because you don't even know what you mean when you say what you're saying.
Yeah, and you could actually just point it out if you did know Mr. Hall, like it would actually make you believable.
Yeah, you're like, women know that their cycles and how it's going, and I think that's really helpful for them. Really? That's your answer? Because it tells them when they're more fertile, so they'll have more sex with their husbands when they're more fertile. No, that's not what they're using NFP for. NFP is not used so I can have sex with my husband more so we can have more children. It's used for, I'm actually more fertile here, therefore we will not have relations, and we will wait till I'm not fertile. That's what it's used for. It's not used for the opposite.
Yeah, because people, it's really
because
hard.
The
for a lot of
opposite is like we just do it when we have
anymore.
to.
It's really hard. I think, Bill, you're wrong.
You know what?
Like, men, asking a man to perform more than twice a month is just unbelievably difficult.
You know,
Sorry.
I never met a man. I never met a man that could do that ever.
Dating or not having children.
It's only once a month. I have to make sure it's at the right time.
And this is where some people get critical. They'll say, well, basically people are just using it as birth control.
Are they not? Wait a second. Are they not basically using it as birth control, Selah?
Yeah, but this is the problem that I have with John Farrell. It's the way the topic is talked about. It tries to be ambiguous whether or not it's to have knowledge or to have explicit intention to have birth control.
Intention. Here we go.
It's people.
Because they're not having children on purpose, and isn't that the same thing as contraception? Well,
no.
The best thing we can find as far as something that's kind of magisterial on this type of spacing would be from Pius XII, and it's a letter. I think it was written to it was like the nurses of Italy or the leaders of the Women's Catholic Action or something like that.
Everyone studies this document. There's a whole class at Franciscan University based exactly on this document.
I thought you said it was for the maids. What are they called?
Midwives.
Midwives, yeah.
But he's actually incorrect here as well. There's like 5 different things about don't disturb the people, even if they're just doing it when it's infertile. There's a lot of church teaching on this, and it's like John says, it's very tenuous because it seems to change from time to time.
Hey, by the way, looking at the date, happy birthday to St. John the Baptist.
Yay! Yeah, we read that.
Who was his mother was absolutely infertile, and it was a miracle that they had a child.
Yay!
Second greatest. Well, Jesus says no one born of woman is greater than him. Of course, except for God, but man, just all man.
Like that. Some women's group in Italy, and he was talking about in the age of contraception, because it was starting to become a thing. This was before Humanae Vitae really laid down exactly what the church had always taught, but in modern terms, because there was this advancement of the pill and hormonal contraception and barrier methods, which were never there in the way we understand them today. So they had to sort of, they had to address it in a new way. And he talked about how there's nothing wrong with, for example, when women are nursing before they get their cycle back, as long as they keep nursing, they can space out the fertile periods. And that's something most women will know if they've nursed babies.
Selah, you read this?
Mm-hmm. I know all this stuff.
Does he say that?
Oh, the document? No.
No. Yeah, I don't think it did.
But the concept is much more difficult and person by person on the nursing thing. It's not a surefire way, as people who aren't women will tell you.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I've never read it, but in the commentary of it, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the insinuation was basically you could just continue nursing or nurse for as long as you thought you needed to so that your cycle wouldn't return. So implicit in that is that by a natural means, you are not conceiving, and there's nothing wrong with that because you're not doing.
Was that in the document? I don't think so.
No, it's just observing the natural period to
what is he
manually
talking about?
space babies. No, he's doing what John said, Mr. Farrell. That he just kind of like adds stuff and just keeps talking.
Friend of the show, Mr. Farrell.
A friend of the show, Mr. Farrell.
Doing anything against nature. And that's kind of where the rubber meets the road.
Excuse me.
One of the reasons why contraception is such.
You know who says rubber meets the road?
Oh, no.
Did you ever... what was his name? Vernon?
No.
No, he was did the Bible in a year, I think.
Uh-huh.
and he kept saying that was like his main saying, where the rubber meets the road. I think Vernon McGee. I think Kennedy Hall is influenced. Yeah, Vernon Bible in a Year. I think he's influenced by Protestants more than he admits.
Amen.
I mean, because he says mere tradition.
Uh-huh.
Now he's quoting Vernon McGee, Bible in a Year. I don't know. I think he's influenced by Protestantism.
As gravely immoral.
I might be wrong. Who knows? I may be right though.
You may be crazy.
Ack, 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 ack. That's a different song by the same guy. Okay.
Moral is because it's against nature. And if we use a different analogy, we think about something like bulimia, which is an eating disorder. Even in today's
I wrote a song about bulimia. You want to hear it?
world, I think they still call it a disorder. Why? Well, because if someone is at the point where they're expelling their food, which is a very tragic thing. So if anyone's ever suffered from that, my heart goes out to you, because I've seen that in my former students and stuff. But the point is, it's always indicative of some interior problem, mental illness, depression, whatever. So it's a sign of moral decay. It's a sign of spiritual decay.
Bulimia, or what is he talking about now? NFP, bulimia? What is he talking about?
I'm really confused because I'm looking it up and it's like somebody binge eats and then vomits.
I think they still call it a disorder. Why? Well, nature's the road.
Does it have to do with anything?
One of the reasons why contraception as such is seen as gravely immoral is because it's against nature.
It's against nature.
And if we use a different analogy, we think about something like bulimia.
Okay, bulimia.
Which is an eating disorder. Even in today's world, I think they still call it a disorder.
Do I have
Why?
infertile eating periods or something?
Does he think that bulimia in today's world is not an eating disorder?
No, he thinks it is, but I don't.
No, he's like, I don't know if it is. That's what he said.
Oh, no.
Let's go back. Hold
on.
Is seen as gravely immoral is because it's against nature. And if we use a different analogy, we think about something like bulimia, which is an eating disorder. Even in today's world, I think they still call it a disorder. Why? Well,
he thinks it's still a disorder.
It might be normal for women. Well, John's
because
in the chat.
Hey, John, join. He's like, I can't. I'm burning pizza.
I'm working my 7th job this day.
I bought a Fumo and sent it to you, Phil.
I'm going to send one to John Farrell.
If someone is at the point where they're expelling their food, which is a very tragic thing. So if anyone's ever suffered from that, my heart goes out to you, because I've seen that in my former students.
Yeah, but is that a mortal sin?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either.
And stuff, but the point is, it's always indicative of some interior problem, mental illness, depression, whatever. So it's a sign of moral decay. It's a
What?
So someone with depression is immoral? I wish he could. I tell you, I've said this dozens of times, but the inability of people to make good examples shows whether they're smart enough. That's it. He would fail classes if he had to do this.
It's a sign of spiritual decay.
Okay.
To be depressed.
Or to vomit.
And to vomit.
I thought that was a sign of making progress on your weight loss goals.
Yay!
Likewise, if we treat the marital embrace like that, and we don't allow quote unquote.
Well, is he a
Wait,
theologian?
the marital embrace is a sign of spiritual decay now?
What does he mean by marital embrace? Does he mean sex?
I think he means holding hands.
Oh, never mind.
That's perfectly normal.
I maritally embrace every day if it's holding hands.
Digestion to take place and we stop nature from happening, then what we're doing is we're interrupting the natural order of things and we're inserting unhealth where there should be health. So this is why it's a sin against.
So bulimia is the same as contraception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever he says.
Maybe it could be. I don't know. I don't make the rules.
It's nature. It's also there's other reasons because it's against the integral nature of the marital act, which again is against nature. This is why not everything is permissible between Catholic spouses. I won't go too much into that. Talk to a priest about that, but they're against the natural integrity of the act. That's why sodomy is so gravely sinful because it's completely against nature.
I thought he was going to not talk about it, and then he just talks about it immediately. I'm not going to talk about fishing.
Fish.
Oh, video.
Oh, I guess I did go to the King's test. But there's bunnies, there's birds, there's grottos. There's lots of fun stuff. There's cemeteries, there's rivers, more grottos. You know, this is what you want, guys, right? Anyways, I love you all.
No.
And then also the secondary reasons are also
No, rewind it. Rewind this 15 seconds.
grave occasion for sin.
This one?
Yeah.
I won't go too much into that. Talk to a priest about that, but they're against the natural integrity of the act. That's why sodomy is so gravely sinful because it's completely against nature. And then also the secondary reasons are also that
he literally did contradicted himself in exactly like 2 seconds. I'm not going to talk about the sinful part, but sodomy is a sin.
It's true.
You know, I'm glad to never having gotten married. It seems like everything you do in marriage is a sin.
Yeah.
That's why you can't have any love. Does John Farrell tell us something about this?
To periods of natural sterility. So, in other words, if you didn't have this intention, but you ended up doing that, the marriage would be valid, would still be valid. And now, is it lawful to do that, to decide not to exclude the right to procreation, but to de facto use the marriage only in periods of infertility? Well, he says,
what?
It will depend on the intention. What is your intention when you're doing that? That's
obvious. That's everything. That's everything. That's
I
everything.
I don't understand. Right? They're like, I do not take thee for lust, but for procreation. Oh,
as long as your intention is stupid, you're fine. As long as you're a moron, don't worry about it.
I guess.
It's the stupidest argument and every Catholic, even Sedes and Novus Ordos and Eastern Orthodox, they make this stupid argument that there's like, oh yeah, there's no sin. Why? Because you're a moron. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to do the bad I do. Yeah, you're right. I don't.
Well,
thank goodness I don't want to do the bad I do.
Well, so it's like what I was trying to get John Farrell to admit before. Like, you don't intend to have relations because you want children. You intend to have relations because you want to have relations.
Right.
The result of which could be children or couldn't be children.
Yeah.
But you don't intend to do things. And so it's like, you're like, oh, the intention matters if she wants to do it or not. And you're like, but that's the only part I can intend. So like, what I'm thinking to myself, don't really intend it, but do it. Like, what's...
But she is very amorous.
And she is wearing the see-through negligee. What is a negligee?
She is wearing the maid's outfit. And I say, oh.
That's not fair.
It facilitates promiscuity and all these kinds of things. So there's a million reasons why it's not allowed. But none of that is the case with natural family planning.
All of it is. If I'm going to make it a scientific endeavor, the whole thing is an occasion. Yeah. I am so intentional. It's damn intentional. It's like the most intentional of intentional, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I am not ignorant of what I'm doing, right? Like,
no,
I don't get this.
I don't understand.
It's nature.
Like, why doesn't he just say, just don't do anything artificial? There you go.
If I put the condom on,
okay,
and I know that it will prevent me from impregnating my wife.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it intentionally.
Okay.
It's the same thing with NFP. My wife is not fertile, so we will have mad rabbit sex now. Because, and when she is fertile, we don't touch each other. It's the same. Is it not the same thing?
It matters your intention.
It's the same intention.
What is
the intention is she will not have children for both.
Yeah, we can also punch her in the stomach too. It does the same thing.
Well, that's you have to do that a week afterwards. Don't tighten your abdomen.
No. This is the better example. Yeah. So I'm intending to do it and to have children, but I'm so gosh darn bad that I half pull out during.
No, well, it feels natural to have to pull out.
It would still be natural. See, but like, because my little brother has a theory that this is why, actually, the real reason why.
Onism?
No, it's not onism. It's semi-onism. Why fertility is down is actually because people are just bad at doing it.
Semi-onism.
They can't figure out what's the best way to do it, and so they try different techniques, and it just doesn't work that well.
How does the baby get in her stomach if I don't use her mouth? I don't understand.
So and this is why I hate this topic so much.
No,
I really hate this topic.
It's stupid. Yeah. The whole thing is stupid.
Look, parents tell your kids what to do, and if they need any more trouble, you go tell the priest. And then YouTubers are like, did you know I can make an 11-hour documentary about periods? It's like, these assholes. Why does everybody want to talk about this topic too?
I don't know. But a friend of the show, Noman Proof, this is his life. This is his bread and butter. That's why we're covering it.
Okay.
Objectively speaking, it just isn't. So could there be a problem with it? Well, there could be. There could be because you can sin in how you do anything, almost, right?
Selah.
So
you can sin in worshiping God. You could say, thank you, God, that I'm not like the person next to me. But you can sin, yes, in any way you want to sin. Why are we talking about this?
That's not a sin.
It is.
No, it's not a sin.
Yeah, because the sin is not forgiving your brother, and so God will not forgive you.
I don't have to forgive my brothers. I live with them.
You do. Okay. I forgot about living with them. I forgot about that clause in canon law. All right.
Do not call your brother Rocca unless you live with them.
A young couple gets married. They agree to get married, teaching to the church. They're in the Catholic Church, all that. They learn NFP, and they intentionally decide that they will come hell or high water, will do everything it takes, according to NFP, to not have kids for 5 years. Why? Because they want to travel, because they want to each make $500,000 in savings, and they want to buy a boat.
Well, how about this? They can't afford children.
No. This is completely fine.
No, he wants to make it
100% fine. All they have to do is just be continent and live as brother and sister.
No, I
Like,
know
what's
it's
wrong-
fine,
wrong
but
here?
what he's saying is that they use NFP as contraception, which is what everyone uses NFP for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't care.
But earlier he said NFP was just for knowing.
Yeah, he's like, I want to know when I'm most fertile so that I can. It's like, no, nobody
Is it after
uses
the
NFP.
bench press? Is it after the squat?
It depends.
And they want to live the high life.
Wait, but he's not steel manning it. He's like, because I want to go on vacations and I want to live the high life. It's like, no, most people are doing it because it's like, we can't afford kids now. We can't do that. You know what I mean? Like he's like, if you want to live the high life, then you're sinning. But what if you're not? What if you're just like, I can't afford more kids?
Yeah.
And what you said is the correct way is like, okay, well, we don't have relation.
Yeah.
But what NFP is, we can have relation without consequence, which is the same thing as putting on a condom or taking the pill.
Yay!
Because the intention is the same. Huh?
So wait, are we against it or for it?
Who's we? John Farrell? I have no idea. He won't come on the show. He's afraid.
No, I love cheering for something, but I don't know which direction it's going in.
I don't have a direction. I just
technically speaking, there nothing about not coming together during a fertile time is grave matter or is disordered, because you're just not doing anything. There's no teaching of the church that says you must always come together when it's go time. That doesn't exist. And St. Paul talks about how at times couples can separate in order to.
But if it is go time, you must come together, because that's what go time means. It's not go time then. It's go time. Mandelbaum. I've watched that clip 1,000 times.
This is dumb.
Okay,
to pray, or they can come together rather than to burn. You know, just
wait a second.
Oh, he gets these stupid quirks in for no reason.
I don't know.
Satisfy the lust, basically, or not the.
Yeah, it is satisfy the lust. That's what it is. Thank you.
Lust, but satisfy the fact that we're human beings and there are certain things married couples do.
The lust.
And when those things are
when the Holy Apostle Paul says, "Then to be on fire," he's talking about lust. Lust on fire.
So,
but if you can, but he said, if you can do without it, do without it.
If you are avoiding the fertile period because you're trying to be continent, like the continental breakfast. And you did say for like half a year, but then like every once in a while it just gets you. The lust just builds up.
No, but the scrambled eggs.
We gotta go scramble some eggs.
Because we're doing the continental breakfast.
And then you go back to being continent. The problem I have with this whole discussion is that seems to be perfectly fine to me, because they're not being regular. It's just they're using it as a remedy for concupiscence, which they have the right to do.
Right.
And so that's why this whole thing really bothers me. Because it's the church's teaching has said several times, don't interrupt them. And if they're not being intentionally contraceptive, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And then these people online are going to put up the scenarios like, if you're doing it infrequently but contraceptively because you're using NFP, because you were intending not to have kids for 5 years because you're trying to get your life in order. And like you just happen to one-off every once in a while, do it every half a year. That would seem to me to be no problem at all. But from the NFP is bad perspective, like what John Farrell has, is like, no, you can't say you can do it. You can only say you can do what naturally happens. Which I don't know, like, well, so then it is okay, right? And he's like, no, just naturally happens. I don't know.
And that's a very broad statement. That means nothing.
I don't know, I'm naturally lusting. I was watching this Korean tractor girl. She was in the little dress and she was riding a big tractor, and I was like, "This is wife material. How do I get this person in my life?"
You're watching
and she was planting potatoes. It was fantastic.
How can I get this in my life? How do I get a baseball Korean cheerleader in my life?
No, it was a completely modest and moral thing.
Imagine like you married one, and like you just had like a boombox next to you, and you like push the play music, like okay, go.
No, that's
like,
how she tells me that that
she's
is the time of the month.
And she's like, can I kiss you? No, just dance. I just want to see you dance this song. And then we're done for the day.
We're being continent, but the lust is a little much for me right now.
It's a little too sinful, even though we're married.
We're going to hell.
Sometimes there can be problems in marriage. And so again, there's nothing gravely immoral about just not coming together as a couple because you're not doing anything. Where the immorality would lie, if you think about our hypothetical scenario, you think about the greed, you think about the vanity, you think about the legalism, all these other sins that they'd be guilty of.
What would the vanity be? That she doesn't want to wreck her body with having children? Is that the vanity part? So the greed would be that we want to keep the money for ourselves and not share it with any dang children that would come. Is that greed?
I guess, okay.
The vanity would be that she doesn't want to wreck her body with having children.
Okay.
What was the other one?
I don't know. Can a man be vain about his body so he doesn't want to do it?
We don't have children, so
where
it's
the
easy.
Immorality would lie.
Okay.
If you
Thank
think
you,
about our
God, for
hypothetical
making me a
scenario,
man.
you think about the greed. You think about
so not sharing your money with your children.
Yeah, money, yeah.
The vanity. You think of
vanity would be the wife not wanting to wreck her body, her stretch marks and stuff.
About the legalism. All
that the legalism being, if you had a kid, maybe, and you separated, is that what's the legalism? I don't know. Whatever.
All these other sins that they'd be guilty of, but the not coming together.
Is legalism a sin?
Apparently, I think it is for this episode. But when Lefebvre wants to make bishops, it's not a sin.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You have to be an idiot.
Yeah, whenever you're dumb, there's no sin. That's right.
So, you know what? The Catholic Church is blessed. So many Novus Ordos for not giving them proper catechism.
Excuse me.
Right?
Okay. I like that.
That's a blessing. They don't know.
Together isn't a sin because you're not doing anything. And you're not required to come together at that particular point anyway. So as far as the SSPX is concerned, the best I've seen...
Hold on. It is pretty good.
They're at that particular point anyway.
Now, pose. Yes. Thank you.
So as far as the SSPX is concerned, the best I've seen...
See,
was, Father,
there's something that I tried to bring out with Kennedy Hall in that failed interview of mine with him. Yeah. That is, if he actually tried to be funny instead of trying to be serious, I think he's a better podcaster because he unintentionally does funny things, but then he never plays into it. It just ruins him. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for agreeing with me.
Friend of the show, said AP. Thank you for that commentary.
Father Couture, he gave an answer at a Q&A, which was part of Fatima Center conference years ago. I saw it years ago.
Are you going to say you're welcome, friend of the show, Philip? Or...
Wait, now we're comrades? Comrade Philip.
I said, thank you, friend of the show, said AP. And you said,
and I drank some coffee.
You say, you're welcome, Phil, friend of the show.
No, I drank some coffee.
And he was asked the same thing. And he said, it's unfortunate that in traditional Catholic circles, sometimes there's this huge stigma on NFP because he's like, basically,
Wait a
he's
second.
a missionary. He's been district superior of Asia, of Canada, all over the
Selah,
place.
are you telling me Lefebvre, the L next to his closet, was pro NFP? Are you telling me that?
That's what it sounds like.
That can't be true.
Well,
How can you be a
continue.
traditionalist and be pro NFP?
I don't know.
Hold on.
And he was asked the same thing.
Okay.
And he said, it's unfortunate that in traditional Catholic circles, sometimes there's this huge stigma on NFP. Because
I understand why. Because he is Lefebvre. He's like, yeah, when you want the woman and you say, hey, let's do the NFP. Are you fertile? Yes. Well, let's wait a month or two. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, basically, he's a missionary. He's been
I am a missionary.
Asia, Canada, all over the place. And he's like, I'll fly into someone. They'll say, Father, come quick. So-and-so is going to have a nervous breakdown. And he's like, what's going on? And it's like, she's had 12 kids in 12 years and she's going to lose her mind. It's like, and he said, why did anyone not explain to her how to abstain properly and space them out? Because again, it's in the nature. I mean, God made us a certain way, the same way we understand our health in 1,000 different ways.
What does abstain properly mean? How is that
I think
not defined?
these people are very lusty.
But to abstain properly means to not have relations.
So they're abstaining improperly.
It's not NFP. It's not pro NFP. I think what he's saying is, you abstain from sex till you can have another child, right? I mean, I think Bishop Lefebvre is actually a pretty good guy. I don't think he wanted NFP. I don't think he wanted people to actually become scientists and track their monthly cycles. And
I don't know. I'm being told the opposite by Kennedy Hall right here.
I know. He's like,
I'm pretty sure
he's
Kennedy Hall is, a autobiographer of Lefebvre, and so everything he says is correct.
So you think that he really wanted it? I mean, what you know of Lefebvre, do you think that he believed that? I think he'd be against it.
I think he'd say, you don't have any self-control? What's wrong with you?
Right. That's what it is. It's his natural family planning is you abstain.
Yeah.
Not, I figure out what times of the month I can have sex with my wife to not have children. Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He made us to understand this. We can harness the power, so to speak, and we can work with nature, not against it.
Harness the power.
Selah. Harness the power. What is that about?
I don't know. This is why when you podcast with people instead of yourself, so they can help you to explain things.
He has the power.
I've never seen a person more incapable of an adult conversation than Kennedy Hall.
Yay.
Well, I mean, except for Nick Carbon's some religious hippie, but present company except.
Yeah, no, whatever. Religious hippie, she's like, how can you keep yourself from lust? Look into my eyes.
I'll fix him, all right.
Give me a super chat. Wink, wink.
In order to do something completely consistent with our...
Did you actually see that one? Like, if you haven't done a grift for her yet, go to that one.
No,
The beginning of it is insanely good for the grift. She's like, hey. She's like looking, hey, do you want to like talk to me? for $10 more.
I'll unbutton another button. If you know what I mean.
If.
And you're like, okay, there's no buttons to unbutton. What are you talking about? What's going on?
You get exclusive mass fits that don't go to mass, if you know what I mean.
Our nature, so in that there can't be a sin. And in the case of this, basically, he's saying, what's wrong with you, whether it's the husband or the elders or the family members, saying, you saw this woman probably 3 or 4 kids ago starting to lose her marbles, and no one said, maybe you should slow down. Not contraception, not breaking the marriage vows, nothing like that, but just,
Stella,
hey, there's a...
Women do not lose their mind by having children. They lose their mind by growing older. That's all. It's not because she had children.
No, usually they just neglect them.
Yeah, she uses the older children to take care of the younger children. It has nothing to do with having kids. They're just getting older, and they're like, I'm not as pretty as I used to be. I'm not as this as I used to be. I'm not like, wait a minute.
Stretch marks.
Yes.
I can't imagine having stretch marks.
It's like, what are you doing? I'm dyeing my hair. Why? Why are you dyeing your hair? It's like...
My 90-year-old grandma, I think, still dyes her hair.
Right. Because women are crazy in general. They're just not... It had nothing to do with the amount of kids they have. The kids have nothing to do with it. It's like, if I only had one kid, I'd be sane right now. No. You'd be just as insane with one kid as opposed to having many kids.
Way of working with nature that is completely consistent with how we were made. Let's just access that. And that's an obvious situation of a grave reason. If a woman has health issues, if there are grave financial problems, if there are, quite frankly, if
what are all these issues everyone is always having? Like, I tell you, the more I listen to marriage online, the more I'm happy I don't have anyone I could possibly marry. Like, all I ever hear is that, oh man, you can make bills or income, health issues.
Right.
You just got to see the doctor 4 times a week.
You know that there's people that are impoverished and have children? No doctors, no anything, no opportunity for anything.
Like a midwife they know who's an extended family member.
Like, what is? These are not problems. These are not problems that you're having.
Yeah. One of my sisters is a midwife. It's like she knows how to birth kids. I think that's really insane.
I think that's
I do it. I just know how to do it.
It's a good thing.
I'm sorry. It's just like boom, 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 boom. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I was there for my kid's birth, so I actually know how to too. But I was just
no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I'm interested in that kind of thing, so I could actually deliver a kid.
Marriage is on the rocks and whatever.
It's sort of like knowing how to
sometimes
skin a deer and butcher it. It's the same thing. It's like, I know how to do it. It's not a big deal. You just do it, right? But there's certain skills you want in your life. Yeah.
And people will say, well, hold on a second. Children are a sign of God's blessing. They're just not allowing God's blessings to come. So people will say things like that.
Wait. Sila, people don't say that. The Bible says that. The inspired word of God says that. Like, people don't say that.
Someone said it once to him. He just makes up random bullshit. So it's like, stuffed animals have sometimes attacked women while pregnant. Like, no, they haven't. Why are you saying this?
There was no end in the Bible that talks about children being more arrows in your quiver, more people to defend you and your family, the more children you have. Like, these are blessings from God. Like, what are you talking about? People say. We're not talking about people. People say don't have kids. That's what people say. People say, whatever. This guy. Ah.
It's a Protestant understanding of be fruitful and multiply. And
No, it's not a Protestant understanding. As if be fruitful and multiply is not in the Catholic Bible too. Like, what is this guy? What is his problem? And what Protestant do you know has 10 kids? What are you talking about? I know Protestants that have like 2, 3 kids. Right?
And usually
Maybe
people
one.
with a lot of kids, they really like being around kids.
Right.
And the problem fixes itself.
But what I'm saying is this is not a Protestant problem. Catholics in general have more children than Protestants do.
Yeah.
So how is this a misunderstanding? Oh, I'm sorry I had so many kids. I must just be feeding into the Protestant delusion. Like, what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Sometimes people will say, well, hold on a second. You know, children are a sign of God's blessing.
Yes.
You're just not allowing God's blessings to come. People will say things like that.
People.
That's
Catholics.
a Protestant understanding
No.
of be fruitful and multiply.
No Protestant has ever said that. What Protestant has ever had said this?
See, this is why this topic is impossible. It's either got to be a priest and he just tells you what to think and says shut up at the end of it.
Right. Yeah.
Or like everybody else just fights. It's shut up, go away, go talk to your spouse afterwards, and you're done. Or else we just all fight. Because the only thing I ever get, man, marriage is a trap. She gets all of your money. She is always sick. She's dying. She has stretch marks all over her body.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, because, you know, she doesn't care that, you know.
Stretch marks in her face.
Yeah. But the only quote-unquote Protestants that have more than, like, 4 or 5 kids are called Mormons. And the Protestants reject them. There was no... I don't know any Protestants.
I knew a family had 7.
A Protestant family?
Yeah. Bible thumpers. They did not like us very much after a while.
Yeah, but that's an outlier. Like,
yeah,
I'm saying,
a very outlier.
In all my life, growing up with people, I've never met Protestants who are like, oh, get fruitful and multiply. Oh. You met one. That's fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a percentage. Okay.
Yeah. And what you normally learn if you're an intelligent Protestant from other Protestants is that you should have 5 kids and about 5 kids. Because if you have 2, the 2 kids don't have enough friends in the family who they grow up with, and then they learn to hate their parents for not giving them more kids.
One is a brat.
Yes.
It's the worst. And the oldest actually holds on to that I should be the only one. And all these other ones are just on my tailcoats.
But if you have enough, after a while, they kind of like they can children fix each other, which is the funniest part about marriage. Yeah. It's another miracle.
Yeah. It's like, you know, wheat should only produce 3 kernels of wheat. It's like, this is just dumb.
Look at the Dewey Reams, and I'm going to pull it up to show you what I mean. Let me just grab it here.
All right. Pull it up.
Show it, and I misspoke. I mixed my terms up. But it's talking about the verse, be fruitful and multiply, increase and multiply. It's not a precept, as some Protestant controversists would have it, but a blessing rendering them fruitful. God said the same words to the fishes and birds who were incapable of receiving it.
Yeah, but he just contradicted himself. He just contradicted himself. He said some Protestants will say children are a blessing. That's exactly what the Dewey Ream says. Why is he even like? Shouldn't he just like deleted this? What is he doing?
Does he delete anything? He's not me. I'm the only person who deletes stuff.
Yeah, but I remember. A
precept. I mixed up blessing and precept. But the point being is that.
Oh, okay, so he's like, by the way, what I said before, bullshit. Okay, here we go.
We were endowed with the faculties necessary for procreation, but we're not required in all circumstances to always increase and multiply. You see?
Yeah. But that has nothing to do with what you were talking about before. You were saying that having multiple children was a Protestant ideal.
Yes, because it's a specific blessing. It's treating your children like an object of blessing. That's what he was mad about, right? Am I wrong about this? Because sometimes it's really hard to follow what he says.
He was saying that we should limit how many children we have. We should use our minds to make sure that we don't have as many kids as we could have, because it's a Protestant idea to have as many children as you can. That's what he said. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, the Douay Rooms disagrees with me." Okay, I have no idea. This is not saying. He's like talking in circles.
That's what I was trying to explain.
You didn't explain anything.
So some Protestant groups.
This guy's retarded.
There's like this movement called like the Quiverful movement. So it's the idea that like.
So I did 50 episodes of an economics podcast in my bedroom. I've told this story before. And I'm like this. I was stupid. I was inconsistent. So guess what? I deleted all of them because when I played them back after I made them, I just started from the beginning. And I was like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's got a point here, but he can't do it.
Right.
This guy can't do it. He's been doing content for 5 years. When did he make this?
I don't know. And Cap. Wait a second. We're going into negative numbers. We're feeding into the other world.
Good children are like having a quiver full of arrows.
Yeah.
So the more arrows you have, the more you're doing God's will, kind of thing. We're not required. It is not a priest.
Oh. What the hell is he talking? He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, it's no.
He's like, you're not required to have those arrows.
No, man. Why?
It's still a blessing to have those arrows. Like, what are you talking about?
Does he know what blessings are?
No, he doesn't.
How do people give him money? Like, I can see feeling sorry for him because he got like screwed by the Canadian education system, but like, I tell you, these people are like the most immoral scum of the earth. There's literally lying to other people and be like, hey, can you give a brother a handout? At least when Haley's doing it, she actually just says it's a handout.
Yeah, she's great. I like her.
When she's funny, she's hilarious.
I like her because she's genuine and she's not like trying to pretend. Like if she gets something wrong, if she got this wrong, she'd be like, I guess I did that wrong. Ha ha ha. This is like, no, actually I was right.
She doesn't ever accept anything I correct her on.
Oh yeah.
And when I was in the Catholic Christian, she was typing in City L. Ho, ho, ho. So then I supercharged Catholic Christian to say that this is money Haley doesn't get. I wonder if that made her mad.
Let's hope so.
Precept, but a blessing. So it's something that we can do because God has given us that blessing of being able to multiply. But we're not required. It's not as if we're always required in all circumstances to always be multiplying. And it's unfortunate when Pope Francis years ago said Catholics are not required to breed like rabbits.
But you agree with him.
You
this whole thing is agreeing with him. It's unfortunately he said it, even though I agree with him. This whole video.
He could have said that so much differently.
Oh, and it's how you say it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it was the way you said it. It means the same thing.
Obviously, there's a whole problem with the context of his interviews and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
technically speaking, he could have said something like, it is not required of Catholics at all times to always be multiplying. He could have said like that. Instead, it was
Say a lot. What?
What the hell is he talking about?
What does that even mean?
I always get mad at you for cussing, but like, what are you talking about? Catholics can't always be reproduced. That's not how reproduction works in Catholics.
Yeah, can you imagine like a government telling Catholics, "Hey, you can't multiply"?
We have a sensor inside of your toilets to collect any parts
see
of
if your wife is pregnant,
Yeah,
and
it's
then we
like,
can,
what the hell? Because if she's not pregnant, we're sending in the team to, I don't know. Like,
what is it?
Like, what the hell is he talking about? Why does he say things?
There's a whole problem with the context of his interviews and everything. But technically speaking, he could have said something like, it is not required of Catholics at all times to always be multiplying. He could have.
What the hell does that mean?
Okay, and let me rephrase what he's trying to say.
Okay.
Catholics should prudently use the power to multiply. There we go. And then it's vague enough that every single person gets to be happy with it. I'm watching this guy. It's so annoying.
If you're married and you have a child, that child comes from God. And you're blessed by God.
Yeah, but I can understand so much
But
blessing.
what the hell is he talking about? You don't always have to have children.
Like 100% of the time.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no one said you did. What?
You don't have to do it even in good times. Like you can like set time for prayer. You can like if you're.
He almost sounds like Anthony Abate, where he's like, I can't have a child sleeping in the bed. You're supposed to be pregnant 100% of the time. What is this? I need marital intimacy too. What? Huh?
He's like, you're in my way. You're competition for me having sex with your mother.
Oh.
Yay! It's like it's so dumb.
It's so weird.
It said like that. Instead, it was don't be like rabbits, and that was just vulgar and made it seem
it's
like
not vulgar. It's the same thing you just said.
So
it's the same thing he's just said. You don't have to have babies all the time. Same thing. You don't have to breed like rabbits. They're saying the same exact words. It's the same amount of vulgarity.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't technically, but it seemed like that. And we have consecrated religious who obviously don't multiply unless they break their vows,
well, they do. Through their prayers, they get others to come to join the religious order, right?
Yes.
So their multiplication is in a different way.
Yeah.
And not only that, but through their prayers, they safeguard the church.
Yeah.
Which is a different kind of multiplication.
Oh, that's groovy multiplication.
No, but like, what is he talking about?
Anonymous.
There are long absences between spouses because of military deployment and things like that, and there's no multiplying going on.
Why is he still talking about this? He already answered his thing.
Well, wait a second.
Well, there was this time that someone was driving down the road, and then like he couldn't be multiplying then because he was driving down the road.
Why can't
the other time he was in a helicopter? Like, how are you supposed to multiply?
But if you're deployed somewhere and your wife's not there, and you have a phone, can you have phone sex with her as long as it's during the NFP portions where she would not have gotten pregnant? Is it a sin then?
I think it is because you can't have it virtually. You have to have it really. It's a physical act.
But if it was
mentally, it's mentally physical. Like,
but what if you're ignorant of that?
No, okay, no, we're not doing this.
Not coming together
This
is
little
not a sin.
game. Why?
So that's why NFP, it's not contraceptive the way people say it is. Although I understand what people mean when they say things like people are using it like contraception. Certainly, one could say someone's using it like contraception, but technically speaking, it is not contraceptive because it doesn't actually stop conception in an artificial way, because you're just simply not coming together when the time would be fruitful for multiplying.
What if during that NFP session, your wife wore a blonde wig? What if your wife was a body pillow? And it was NFP all the time.
But this is something I don't understand. So walk me through this. Yes. The natural state of men and women in their youth, right? We're not talking about your age and people beyond it. We're talking about like younger people.
We're not talking about decrepit people.
We're not talking about decrepit people with stretch marks and old and tired.
Yeah, we've been through it.
In their 20s, right?
Yeah.
When you're in your 20s, the natural state of your relationship is to not really care that there's a woman in your bed with you. Is that the natural state of your time? You're like, oh, woman, oh, what you doing here?
I'm gonna get cooties.
Like, I would think if you use the term natural state, like, you got to be more specific, because sometimes it seems to me the natural state is weekly, at least for some people. Like,
and you know, when you're in your 20s, there's no such thing as I'm
too tired.
No, there's no such thing as like, you know, like when you're in your 20s, like, I'm going to bungee jump. Why? You could die. I would never do that, right? When I was in my 20s, probably I would have done it. Like, because you're like, I'll never die. It's the same thing. Like, I'll have sex. I don't care. Like,
dude, you're pregnant? That's cool. I've never lived through that yet. Fantastic. So, like, he's like, no, they're doing it for the intention of, like, this abstract mental big brain thing, but human beings in their natural life, especially I would assume if they're earlier in their relationship and they're just not, it's more fun than it will be later, then let's just like do it more. Like, the natural state is to live a different life than currently Kennedy Hall lives at 35 or 36.
Absolutely.
And, like, yeah, you can actually see that in married couples.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, always one should talk to his or her priest. I can think of friends who have talked to ours. They have a big family, and father is like, oh yeah, totally. Like, you know, you've got X amount of kids, money's tight, whatever the situation is. You know, it would be very prudent of you for the next like 6 to 10 months to sort of take a break and follow the thing. And then why don't you reassess in 6 to 10 months, come back and talk to me, and we'll see where you're at. Right. Because there's this balance of, again, if we use that analogy I gave about this couple who was basically using it like contraception in the sense of they had no intention of having kids for a long time. That would be where a priest would step.
Who would use it for anything else? That's all you're using it for.
And again, who are these people? I need to know who these people are.
Nobody is like, I don't want to have sex with my spouse, but I want to have children. So if I can find out when she's the most fertile and we have sex during that time, maybe we can have children so I don't have to do it as much. Right? That's the reverse. Right?
No.
Isn't that true?
I think, yeah, that makes sense.
Step in and say, your reasoning here is not sound. Marriage has as a primary.
None of the reasoning is sound. None. Say lie.
And at least the openness to having children, and you are
at least
demonstrating the opposite. So there's a lot of sin going on in that sense. So I'm going to say you better stop that, because
either it's a sin or it's not a sin. Say lie. It's a sin or it's not a sin.
You're sort of cheapening the marriage vows.
Say lie. I don't think it's cheapening the marriage vows either. Like, this is like, This is dumb.
This is so weird.
I do like the look on his face now, though. I'll leave it there for a little bit.
This is why we do not cover this
And
on
with
my
a-
channel. There's no way you
the
can
couple,
get through
it's
this
like-
stuff. It's awful. This is an hour and a half on 17 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I know.
And he doesn't even say
You know,
things.
like-
He has nothing to say. He contradicts himself. He has to correct himself towards the end of the video of what he said at the beginning of the video. He's like, yeah, what I said was wrong. I'm not going to like edit this. I'm just going to let it run. As he edited it.
I might have had a very simple explanation for this. And essentially, it was every night with your husband is your wedding night. And that's how you should always treat the wedding bed.
Right. That's a good idea.
And that was it. That was the entire explanation. It's like, yeah. And then, you can just mentally understand, oh, yeah, if I had a huge party and I'm practically drunk, then you just don't do it. Like, yeah, even if that was actually your wedding night, maybe it's you don't consummate the marriage until next week.
Right.
Because maybe life gets in the way. It's just like, yeah, there you go. That's all you need. 30 seconds. Okay. I've got this.
Like she just had a C-section and whatever. And, or you just had
Whoa,
twins.
wait. Say
Your
la.
reasoning here is not sound. Marriage
I put it back.
has as a primary end, at least the openness to having children, and you are demonstrating the opposite. So there's a lot of sin going on in that sense. So I'm going to say you better stop that because you're sort of cheapening the marriage vows. And with a couple, it's like, okay, like she just had a C-section and whatever. And, or you just had twins and a C-section, whatever it comes up. And you can, or you just had a severely handicapped child or something. And it's a lot of work, or, just lost a job, or dad just got really sick, or all these things happen.
Say la.
And it's like,
okay.
A man getting a job is the same traumatic experience on the body as birth of twins by C-section.
Or having a retarded child.
Yeah, like men are completely worthless. That's the only thing I'm getting at.
What the hell?
Men are so worthless in this analogy that they're like, hey, wife, I know you just had an extremely traumatic experience. You now weigh 25 pounds less and everything. Oh, are we on tonight? Like what? Who's this guy? Is he completely devoid of humanity?
Isn't this Grover's show?
He's just asshole ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is this Grover? This is Grover's show, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Grover's channel, isn't it?
Yeah, like I don't know what you're talking about. Can you? I don't know. Can you? Do you have the ability to do so?
Like, I think if you were actually going to take that as a serious example, you should slap the guy upside the head and say, "Give your wife at least a week off."
My wife. Wait a second. If my wife,
yeah, your wife
gives natural birth, we're not having sex for months. Like, what do you mean? What is this like? Oh, she just had a kid. I guess we should have sex now. Like, what was he talking about? The C-section?
I don't know,
Who has sex with their wife after a C-section?
Won't she let you know anyway?
No, but who would do that?
I don't know.
It's like, well,
these examples.
It's a week after you gave birth. I know it was a C-section, so I know it's still good down there. So we got to keep going. It's like, what?
You must always be pregnant, my babies.
You must always be ready for me. This is the stupidest thing I've ever. Like, give it 6 months at least, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Show some consideration. Any consideration? It's like, nope.
prudently, let's talk about this, and then we'll reassess. And once you get your feet back on the ground and stuff. But of course, if children come, they come. But there's nothing wrong with using the method prudently. And
like, say, well, it's like, let's say, like, you went, like, let's say you're John, right? John the Fool,
Yeah.
and you had a
Yeah.
hernia, right? And your wife is like, "Hey, it's been a week since your hernia surgery. Let's do it." It's like, "No, actually, I can't. I can't do it because it would tear the bandages and the thing." No, it's been a week. You have a husbandly duty to do it. Like, what the hell is he talking about?
Come on,
I think
John.
that's the best
Come
answer I can
on.
give.
Oh.
That was it.
That was positively horrible.
It's terrible.
I do know that
my wife just got off of chemotherapy.
Uh-huh.
So I figure in 3 days we should be doing it like any time now.
It's also going to be completely different if she had traumatic C-section with twins versus it's her second kid and she did natural birth. And if you've never known Mexican women, 2 days later they'll be having a normal life.
Yeah, I know.
It's like it's so
My
context dependent, and he's just like, just random event happens.
My mom said she gave birth to me, and then she put her jeans on and she brought me home like that day. Like, but it depends on the person,
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, like I never dreamed after my wife had a baby to be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
It's empty in there, right?
I was like, okay, we got to take care of the kid. All right, let's do this. We got to do that. Like you're so engulfed. You got to work. You got to take care of the kid.
You get to go look. You get a baby. It's a new toy. You play with the toy for a week, and the wife is like, "Well, what about me? Am I chopped liver?" And you're like, "You were
for now.
No. You were literally
Heal up a little.
Not like you're going anywhere. It's like, oh my goodness. This topic is so bad. Why?
I don't know. I didn't. This is an annulment-proof topic. Anyway, it was great hanging out with you. It's 12 o'clock here in the East Coast. We're gonna do a little bit of Master Bowser, and then we'll say goodnight to the crew of the Sailor Cast. Huh?
My name.
Gotta go. Maybe she can find some drama to get some money with a disposition that is very sunny.
I'm glad to begin.
Oh, the Christian house is on the loose. And she's hunting for another golden goose. Maybe she can find some drama to get some money with a disposition that is very sunny. Oh, I think that she will talk about weird stuffs. She just can't seem to put down that she has the cuffs of the man who left her behind on the cruise. Christine chugs the wine and just sings all the blues. And it's only Christine. It's so lamented, Christine. Me report dash 2 82 in a Dimas K2.
This thing goes.
Pollos negros de canela que me llegan. Esperada. Christine, it's only you. It's you.
All right. I'm sorry. Okay, let's hang out for a little bit. All right.
Hey, Phil. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? John, he got back just in time to keep us from going to bed. Yay!
Just ended my shift. That was pretty good, actually. I finished everything early. Except
Did you watch any of that?
No, I was busy on register.
All right.
If I'm in kitchen, I'm able to listen to stuff. But if I'm on register, Feels
Here
like
we
I'm
go.
a jerk.
From the beginning.
Yeah, we'll start over. Let's rewatch our own Sailorcast.
And it'll be like, I agree with that Phil guy. That Phil guy, he's smart.
Yeah, I agree too. Oh man, how are you guys?
Good.
Yeah, I'm a little calmer tonight because I didn't get to be in kitchen. Yeah, kitchen makes me spiteful.
There was something from John Farrell.
I can't believe he left us. He ran away again. I mean,
Again.
I didn't run away because he never runs away.
No, he said something about, like doing spiritual stuff. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm not going to take away from your prayers, obviously.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, Phil, what happened? What do you do when the FSSP John Farrell goes to has veils handed out, but they're not being used?
I don't know.
I mean, I think my hair's pretty sacred. So,
look, I'm a Eucharistic minister at my parish, and I always wear a veil.
That's right. Exactly.
I somehow thought you were gonna say that. Someone's criticizing me on Twitter.
Oh
no! Not on Twitter.
JP will now delete all of his YouTube again. Again.
Present.
Man, always with the demands. John never demands things.
I gotta remove this first at the stage.
Sailorcast.
If you want to criticize, you should make content people want to watch.
Yeah. He does make content that two people want to watch. Okay?
Yeah. Sailorcast is the only example who does that perfectly, though, because the 5 viewers watching are ourselves. So we had
-3 when I said ANCAP. We went into the negative world.
So the tweet he's responding to was me making fun of the Catholic Crusade or Catholic Creator Conference.
Wait, they're doing it again?
Yeah.
Is Jeremiah Bannister going?
Yes.
Wait, why is he doing it if he's not even a creator anymore?
It's all for the ego rub. It's a bunch of fat people getting together and eating food.
Call himself an advisor?
Hey, I fat shamed myself into losing weight and taking drugs, man.
You know, I lost weight by doing this thing called not eating. Crazy.
We can't put the pork down.
Not eating is too hard.
The best way to lose weight is to lose a limb.
Exactly. That's what I say. That's why the best way to regain purity is to just get a hernia. You never have to worry about wanting to do it again. I mean,
yeah, but what if your wife's like, but I need it?
Yeah, you won't want it.
No, I need it. Even though I have a hernia, I need it.
That's true. I don't know. I guess you give yourself a double hernia. Just make it worse. I don't know. I remember a guy who was an alcoholic at my job, and his daughter jumped on top of his intestines, his stomach, and kneed him one time as a joke. And yeah, he's not able to drink alcohol anymore. So works for some people. I mean,
don't have kids, okay? See, this is it. Don't have kids. Kids ruin your life.
Yeah, it stops you from being an alcoholic.
Are you down with NFP?
Yeah, I love natural family producing.
The answer is, yeah, you know me.
I love NFP.
Yeah, you know me.
I love NFP.
Yeah, you know me.
I love NFP.
Oh, are you down with NFP?
Plot.
He says, are you down with NFP? Yeah, you know me.
Plot.
Twist.
Plot.
Twist.
Wait, what was that song I sent to Phil? Wait, have we played the Luminous Mysteries cringe, Phil?
Well, I'll do it now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have re-uploaded. That's like the worst thing I've ever watched. Let's look Luminous.
I liked it.
Luminous. It's like man, it's terrible. I refuse to pretend like I like it. Okay. I refuse to admit
you know what?
I like it.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah, I hate that video. That's why I kept watching it. I mean, I hate everything that's so catchy that I watch it 20 times, and then I like try to fake my anger against it.
Together. The ones recommended by Pope John Paul II. Hey, wake up! It's Thursday. Let's pray the luminous mysteries together. The ones recommended by Pope John Paul II.
Get luminous, 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 luminous, get luminous, 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 get luminous, luminous, get luminous, luminous, get luminous.
Hey, Setty P.
Hey, wake up! It's Thursday. Let's pray the luminous mysteries together. The ones recommended by Pope John Paul II.
I can't hear you.
Get luminous, 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 get luminous.
Okay. Do you know who Father George Prekka is?
Prekka. I don't think so.
Hold on. Here's what I found weird about researching the luminous mysteries. So JP2 stole them from a priest who was well liked by Pius XII, well liked by Pius X, and basically I have never found any proof he thought they should be added as a in addition to the normal 15-decade cycle. Like at most, he was trying to focus in on the incarnation, and then even then, JP2 like changed stuff that George Prekka had wrote for the mysteries. Like it's supposed to be like focused on the incarnation, and JP2 of course did that whole like humanist stuff. So it's kind of like the opposite of what it's supposed to be. I just find it bizarre because like the cope for the luminous is like, well, it's based on George Prekka, and then I've never found any writings of him being like, this should be part of your normal rosary cycle. And we should just get rid of the symbology of the 150 Psalms and the 150 Hail Marys. It's like, can you give me a source other than JP2 just saying it? Like, I don't get it. I'm like, I don't have an issue with the mysteries if you look up George Prekka. I just find it annoying that like that guy died in 1962. Never said the new mass. Never said the new mass. And then we're supposed to just be like, we gotta accept these, bro. JP2 didn't even copy them right. I just find it annoying. I don't know. What happened? I'm driving. I don't know what that's
We're making retarded faces with light flashlights.
Meanie. Uncharitable.
It's always yay. Quote me on the laugh. Quote me on this. Laugh. Be gay, grind. The motto, people. Our motto. Quote me on the laugh. Yay, always grind. Quote me on the laugh. Yay, always grind. Quote me on the laugh. Yay, always grind.
Sorry, Phil. I got all serious.
Grind. Always. Yay. Quote me on the laugh. Quote me on this. Quote.
Luminous. Get luminous. Luminous. Get luminous. Luminous. Get luminous. Luminous. luminous.
Get luminous. Get luminous.
This is the only good part of the video.
Only good part of the video. Hey, said AP, when are you bringing back on Connor Cregan?
He disappeared.
Did he? He made that retarded video parroting
The morons were like, "Oh, Poland bad, Germany good, Germany best ever. We love Germany."
And then he disappeared after that. I don't even know if he has a YouTube anymore.
Yeah, I remember he's the only other guy did a chat with you in a car
on that non-existent set AP, because we all know Salacast predates set AP.
Absolutely.
That's right. We made set AP.
I got the receipts.
I mean, in a certain way, me and Phil kind of did make set up content thing. In a way. Like, WM Review never would have made that one article. Had that one guy. That important person. Who's totally not a narcissist.
We made up set AP as a fake background. And then this Michael Naden guy decided to become set AP. And
yeah. John the Narcissist was never thanked for sending set AP to WM Review. Ever.
Bruv.
John the Big Narcissist.
Never was thanked.
Well, WM Review did DM me at one point.
Yeah, exactly. And then they tried destroying the show, which shows that John the Narcissist was wrong to ever show them the content.
No, John's not the narcissist. John's like the socialite character.
Yeah, you're right.
He just repeats everything everybody says to everybody else, and then makes friends with everybody, and then disappears. And then you're like, I thought he was a narcissist who would stick around. It's like, that's not
yeah, but that narcissist have to find out new fuel, you know.
Yeah, I gotta get refilled up with new stuff.
Hey, Detective Kyoshi, have you made a song request yet?
No, I like the Get Luminous song. Get Luminous, Get Luminous.
Yeah. Just call 206-501-8910.
Did you just post your actual phone number?
No, it's in the banner. Are you not watching?
I'm in my car. I mean, yes, I totally do not text when I drive. I would never DM someone on Discord while driving. That never happened.
John the Narcissist would never do. I mean, the person named John the Narcissist.
First of all, I know you're never, not in your car.
Never do that. Texting while driving is a crime. Don't do that.
But is it against nature?
Remember that, guys. Never, ever text and drive. Oh, my bad.
Always gay. Vote me on the left. Vote me on this. Left. Be gay and front.
Hey, Phil, I got a song.
Yeah.
People.
Kettle, Cats in the Kettle.
Left, gay, always front. Vote me on the left, gay, always front. Vote me on the left, gay, always front.
I like that one. I mean, I didn't like that. I showed it to John the Narcissist.
Always gay. Vote me on the
That's what they finished My Boyfriend is a Thomist. So just the volume on that.
That is a good song. So John the Narcissist.
Do you know where that song is? It's ripped off of 50/50's It's a K-pop song.
left, yay, always
Yes,
rhyme.
right.
Quote me on the left.
I just
yay,
took out their
always
melodies and
rhyme.
put mine
Quote me on
in.
the left, yay, always rhyme.
Somebody tried threatening me. I mean, somebody tried threatening my friend John the narcissist.
Always,
That they would play J-pop at work, at K-pop at work, and I'm just like, I already listen. I mean, John already listens to that on his headphones while working, so it's like, yeah, okay, go on, play it. You won't, coward. I don't know why. Like, he just goes, yeah, John. You know what? I'll
When
play
you eat
K-pop.
Chinese, it ain't pork or chicken, but a fat Chinese. Yet the food tastes great, so you don't complain. But that's not chicken in your chicken chow mein. Seems to me I ordered sweet and sour pork, but Garfield's on my fork. He's purring here on my fork. There's a cat in the kettle at the Peking Moon, the place that I eat every day at noon. They can feed your cat and you'll never know. Once they wrap it up in dough, boys, they fry it real crisp in dough. Shaolin asked if I wanted more as he was dialing up his buddy at the old pet store. I said, not today, I lost my appetite. There's 2 cats in my belly and they want to fight. I was sucking on a rolling and a Tums or 2. Well, I swear I heard it new, boy, and that is when I knew. There's a cat in the kettle at the Peking Moon. I think I gotta stop eating there at noon. They say that it's beef or fish or pork, but it's purring there on my fork. There's a hairball on my fork.
You know, Phil, I realized something.
Yeah.
At work, we're like building these cages for like dogs and cars. And I was thinking, since the cooling system doesn't work, we can use it alternatively as a Chinese to takeout like truck. You know what I mean? Just put the dog in there and start slow cooking.
Maybe
in a
get
nice,
some of
like
the,
rare.
get some rat
pieces.
traps.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, you could create a whole like buffet back there.
Buffet.
And I'm thinking you could fit
It's pronounced buffet.
Yeah, buffet. Sorry, you could have a whole buffet back there. You'd have 2 dogs.
That's right.
You get them all over medium rare, and when they start cooking really well, you know, you put them over the quote grill. I mean, it looks like a push bar, but it's a grill.
The quote grill, which is really a panini press. But
that's right. Yeah, you just smash them into a wall. You make them all flat like hamburger patties.
It's a parchment paper, and it all works out. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's either that or you sell them to a Chinese police force and they can have lunch on the go. You know, I mean, the fans are there as like a convection oven. So I'm like, put up some glass, make it airtight. It works nice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It'd make a nice Chinese police forces. You know, you don't got to worry about the canine unit because that's just their lunch in the back.
That's just normal for them.
Yeah, that's right. They're like, oh man, I can smell it, guys. That cooked dog. Ooh, yes,
Everyone could smell it.
Hey, $9.99. That's the deal I heard about. Man. Yeah, the Chinese have, you know, Jihan might be an expert on that food. He might be able to tell us what seasonings go on them.
No, he's busy talking to Kennedy Hall.
You know what I was thinking about? Pitbull hamburgers.
He's like in every single person's paid subscription, being like, "Hey, man, there's people saying bad things about you on the internet." He sends some stuff. You're like,
I feel like he's like trying to like start shit with other creators, so they're forced to make content, and then we watch it.
I hope so, and I think maybe he's the reason why Anthony Stein put the enunciation above the YouTube flag.
Yeah, probably. He probably comments literally everything we say. I bet he's the little spy that talks in the traditional Thomist circles.
Oh, I hope so.
Hey, Nick. We notice he's my friends a lot.
He was doing it inside the Anthony Abate's Telegram.
Was he? I'm not even.
Yeah, he
part
was
of that.
literally copying and pasting people talking about them from Twitter, and one of the comments was mine. And I was like,
Oh man, Gian really is doing God's work, creating all the
yes,
cringe content.
Yes, I agree.
He's like the driver of all the entire
you should-
Catholic.
You should
I
hire
thought,
him.
I thought I
You
was
should-
the guy doing all
You
the
should
work.
hire him
not
to
really
do your
Gian's
work.
doing it. Gian and John are basically the same name anyway, so sounds close enough. I should get Tim Flanders to make more cringe content.
Yay!
He goes, he's like, Sid AP, can I work for you? You're like, yeah, we're not hiring anyone. I'm like, hey, doesn't your sister, your Korean sister, work for cheerleaders for baseball? He's like, no, she's more like a hip hop. Like, dude, I'm trying to get you a job, you idiot.
Yeah, you moron. Yeah, she's just like the second-rate mascot. It's totally different, bro.
Yeah, she wears the mascot.
It's like, that's a mascot, Gio. No, it's different. Okay.
No, that's my sister inside that mascot.
Hey, now my sister watches our show, so that's even better.
Yay!
If I could get my family to watch my shows, that'd be hilarious. But no,
Didn't they used to watch the Set AP stuff? Like
my
you used
parents
to make
did
the content?
when they were initially there, but like they didn't really enjoy they really hated Michael Lofton. And some things, it's just older people, they look at young people and just go, okay, this person's retarded. Okay, the brain turned off. Like, you literally could not get them to watch Religious Hippie. They would,
I have this.
What's it called? Admit to committing heresy before watching Religious Hippie.
Yeah.
Confess.
Confess.
I confess.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, just like Dietrich, I gave up sedevacantism after I realized I couldn't make it to confession every day.
Here we go.
For my 5 minutes of fame.
And muted forever.
No.
Here we go. Good night, all. Here we go.
Oh, the Christian house is on the loose, and she's hunting for another goose. Maybe she can find some drama to get some money with a disposition that is very sunny. Oh, I think that she will talk about weird stuff. She just can't seem to put down that she has the cuffs of the man who left her behind on the cruise. Christine chugs the wine and just sings all the blues, and it's only Christine. It's so lamented, Christine. Me importas tú, y tú, y nadie más que tú. Pollos negros de canela que me llegan a desesperar. Me importas tú, y tú, Christine. It's only you. It's you. Oh, Christine, it's you. Everything is Christine.